Hey everybody, welcome to Crown Council Live. I am Stuart Anderson. I'm sorry if I don't sound the same. This is the first time I've ever done the show where I don't have my super special microphone. I took it home to record some voiceovers with my daughter Zoe for the annual event, and I didn't bring it back. So here I am. Hope it sounds okay. I know DJ adjusted some of my audio volume and stuff, but a lot of our show today will be some recorded segments from old Coaches Corners. I went back and picked some of my favorites from the last 2 years and put them together. So that's what we're going to be doing today, watching some of our Coaches Corner from our tops coaches and hearing from some of our favorite Crown Council teams from across the country. Before we do that, I wanted to share my screen, and we are going to look at the thing called the annual event guide. This is just a brief explanation of this document and the 20 pages of goodness that it contains. Hopefully, if you are coming to the annual event, you have received this. If you are a team member, you should have received this and you should have read it and looked it over. There's a lot of things in here that make the annual event the best possible thing for you and your team, to know ahead what we're doing and what's going to be going on. So, for example, Thursday, our check-in experience, take a walk through Austin. These are the things that we're going to have. We're going to have a giant oak tree. You're going to have a burro. That's a real burro. Eat a treat, live music, make bracelets, take pictures, and then get all of your event swag. So just knowing that alone will kind of guide you, your attitude of when you're showing up, how you're going to approach check-in, and what's going to be taking place when we see you Thursday. Our schedule is here. I'm obviously not going to walk through it all. One thing that you should know if it's your first time attending the annual event, we do have themed dinners, and the themed dinner this year is we're celebrating our $50 millionth raised through Smiles for Life, and we're going to have a 1950s party. So come dressed in 1950s attire, which is always fun. I've said it before, if you don't dress up, you will be the odd man out. You should prepare to come dressed. And then our awards night on Saturday, black tie or Texas boots. I can't wait to see that. So that's going to be our gala, kind of a black tie awards night. And we have some Texas tenors. They're an incredible band that are going to be performing. So I'll scroll through this real quick just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Lunch and learns are very important. If you're watching this and you're coming to the annual event and you have not selected a lunch and learn, the first thing you can do is text select to 72,000, and it will instantly send you a link for you to reserve a seat in a different lunch and learn. So a lot of fun lunch and learns to choose from. You've got Friday here. These are the topics for Friday. And then Saturday, you can pick your topics here. One thing that's interesting about our lunch and learns is that there is no general area for eating lunch. So you will attend a lunch and learn if you want to eat lunch with us. This is all of the seating and arrangements for lunch on Friday and Saturday. Our resource partners, we're doing a lot of work right now to connect with them and make sure that they are going to be bringing value to the annual event. So we're going to have a little vendor area, our resource partner area, and this is a description of each group that is going to be there. So we hope that you will connect with each of them, learn from each of them. They're all going to be bringing a value-added proposition, something to teach you. So just go to their table and learn from them. An incredible list of our resource partners who are going to be with us. Okay, I'll just scroll through a few other things to make sure I'm not missing anything. Our Smiles for Life Awards night, where we'll recognize our top donating offices. We're going to be doing our normal Crown Council Awards on Saturday night. Frequently asked questions, very important. If you're asking it, don't worry, someone else has already asked that question. And then if you print this off, Steve will wrap up at the end of our event the top 20. And these are the 20 top things or takeaways that we hope that you'll have when you finish the annual event. So we are really looking forward to being together. Obviously, our 29th annual event, something that the Crown Council team plans and prepares for over a year, and we're really looking forward to being together with you. All right, last thing I'm going to share is our live stream today is going to consist of speaking with and connecting with our coaches. So Crown Council is community and culture, and our TOPS team, our Total Patient Service Institute, is all about coaching. It's all about hands-on in your practice work that they do to train and create systems and be with your team one-on-one. And as they go out and meet with Crown Council offices, we often connect with them on the live stream. So I've put together some of our best coaches' corners to learn from other practices and to learn from our TOPS team. I'll walk through just a few items. This is their website, totalpatientservice.com. Connecting with the coach is super easy here, as well as we often talk about the seminars that take place that are run by the TOPS team. Our Total Immersion course, the Leadership Academy, the Insurance course, the Hygiene course. These are all incredible opportunities for you to go to with your team or to send your team to. And the calendar is already up for next year for all of these events. So we look forward to being with them and learning in these awesome hands-on experiences next year. So I'm going to share my screens. Oh, I'm already sharing my screen. This is a little video compilation of some of our best. You'll hear from this first one. Me and Steve actually do this one with the Justin Libby team. They won the best team of the year, and just a short interview with them as we hear why they won that award and some pearls from this office. All right, I'll play this, and hopefully you enjoy kind of these highlights or best ofs for our live stream today. Thanks.
Good. Part of what became the team of the year was born out of adversity. And Justin, this has been brought up a couple times. You lost your dad 3 years ago, and I know how close you guys were. I feel like I've been a part of your family since I met you, I think in high school was when we first met. And one of the things that you mentioned in your nominating your team was just how much they rallied around you. And I think you implied that they carried you through part of that time, because I know how rough it was. Maybe you could all just characterize for us the kind of that time period. I know it was not easy, but what happened was the result of all of the work that you've done together as a team in building a great team together. So Justin, maybe if you're welcome to talk about that, or if you want some of your team to talk about that, but what happened there and what made that adversity something now that you look back on as a real high point for your team and your teamwork?
This was the question that I was probably most resistant of. I think it's important to establish a scorecard of success. If I were to say what is success, I was talking to my wife last night, and like Kyle said, it's not necessarily what we say, it's what we do. And in the time of adversity, this team did and continues to always lift me up. And that to me is more powerful than any words. To me, that's, like I told my wife, that's success, right? That's success. So I'm awards and accolades are always been an interesting dynamic for me. And so when we apply for an award, I always get it. And so that's why you guys got, I think, 25 nominations because I said we're going to Crown Council and we're getting this award. But I wanted, I really, it was a thank you award to my team for putting their lives and their chests at war every day, putting their lives on the line, and giving it their all. So. How do you create that? How do I create that? And I think it's the same. It's the stuff that I'm teaching my 2 and my 4-year-old. Not necessarily what I say, but how I am. My basketball coach told me, boys, because we're boys. Your reputation is what other people see. Your character is what God sees when nobody else is looking. And I've always remembered that because it's when no one else is looking. How are you treating your wife? How are you treating those around you? How are you treating yourself? You know, that allows again allows you to attract a team of individuals that has a character so strong that it's tangible. And as we're always taught, people are buying the intangibles. They're not buying what you're selling them. They're buying what they experience.
Maybe this is a good place to ask the team and ask you, doctors, what is a thing that you're doing that creates that environment? Is there something that you can look to or something that you do as a team that fosters that kind of community and that culture between you?
I think it's how we make the patients feel. You know, we've had the comment multiple times, you know, why are you guys so happy here? And those are the patients that keep coming back, that love us. So, you know, they remember that. They remember how you make them feel.
Stu, I've been reading a book by Adam Grant. Actually, the team got it for me, but the context is about unlearning everything you know, right? How what you know can get in the way of you, like Nadia said, of you moving forward. And
Dr. Libby's also having us step up a lot, I find. He's making us come into roles, leadership roles, and I think that's a big thing because I know when Jim was around, there was kind of that solid foundation where he just kind of took on a lot, and then, you know, and I don't mean to get real personal, but there was a change of like seeing Dr. Libby have a son, and then Jim passing away, and then COVID happening, and then having another daughter. Like there's just like been a lot of change in this man, and then trying to navigate the team through waters of what we need to do. And it's a lot to really take on. And he is kind of, I have felt, starting to give us that same responsibility and leadership to become into our own power and also to help run this whole practice as our own business. And that's really empowering and frightening, but he's allowing us to kind of do this under his umbrella of Watch. And I think that's, you know, respectful in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, because one of the things we often say is, you know, the culture, the thing that you're creating, your team, your environment, the way that you connect with each other, it can either be done by design or it happens just by default. And the reason that you, you know, won that Team of the Year is that you have worked so hard to create what you have created by design. And I guess what Steve and I would love to share with the rest of the Crown Council is what kind of things are you doing that is designed that make your team worth copying, that make what you're doing, you know, the rest of the Crown Council membership can look to and say, this Libby group is doing this, and we'd love to do the same, or we could implement something like that. Is there anything that comes to mind when that kind of idea is presented?
We get out of our comfort zone a lot.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Case in point right now.
It's true.
And treat people the way you want to be treated. I think it's a good rule to go by, and I always do. So if you want to be treated that way, treat others. They'll always come back.
I mean, like our motto says, like authentic conversation, it's in our thing. We really have those authentic conversations with our patients. From the first appointment, their new patients, we're collecting all this data, we're showing them it. We're giving them sometimes the harder bullet to bite on what they need, what is best for them. That's what we present them, and we give those authentic conversations with them. I think that's something the Libby Group has above any other practice I've worked at. You know, a lot of dentists that I know in the past I've worked with, they just wait for the patient to tell them what they want. What the patient tells them, you know, tooth hurts, and then we're like, okay, you just need a crown. It's like the Libby Group, they have the conversation before that even presents itself. They, you know, they just give them the authentic conversation with the patient. And I think that's something they have a hand above everything, any other dental office I've worked at.
You initiate it, you don't wait for it to happen.
Definitely.
I have one thing I'm really proud of that we're doing. The team is going to kind of roll their eyes, but standard operating procedures. I mean, if you're looking for, you know, case in point, I think first off, and Andrea, you could touch on this, is we hire very selectively. You know, I can touch more on that. But that is foundational. If you want to build a team that trusts each other, the team is instrumental in hiring. And you know, we have amazing talent that comes into our doors that we choose not to step into a working relationship with. And we have a board of directors. That's a board of directors. It's a leadership conversation. So, but an important thing that is developing a standard operating procedure is updating that or revising that. What is your standard? So that the team has a level of expectation. Like if I'm just always getting mad at somebody because they're not doing something, I get to look at myself and go, what information did I not provide that person that they're not well equipped with as far as succeeding? So we're spending the next year, write that one down, creating a itemized, detail by detail, organized digital form, and then training to that as to what sets us apart, what makes us. You know, if we don't use that material, then what do we use? And in that the development of that, it's been my experience that people can relax into knowing their role and what's expected of them, and you know, and at that point, to me, I say that's when magic begins to happen. That's the, you know, in the fishing business. If you want to talk dollars and cents, you're the first half of your season, you're just trying to break even, and it's all those little extra fish that you catch at the end of the fishing opener that add up over time, and it's all those little intricate things that are organized and well executed that add up, to me, you know, to make you a very substantial and profitable organization and company.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Crown Council live stream. This is Coach's Corner. Tanya Bailey, how are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I am very good. It is Halloween, although we will be playing this on Thursday of this week, but happy Halloween. We have to do some context as to why Dr. Jeff Roy is dressed like a, are you Uncle Fester or are you a monk? Like, what is it?
Yes, Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester. Very good. Very creative. We're grateful. This is part of the live program where we connect with one of our Crown Council members and one of our TOPS coaches, hear what they're working on, and to just check in to see challenges that they're facing, as well as the good things that are happening in the practice. Tanya, do you want to introduce us to where you are today?
Yes, I would love to. So I'm sure
Okay.
everybody recognizes Dr. Jeff Roy from 21st Century Dental and his two associate doctor, Dr. Batesman and Dr. Bristow. And I could run through the whole team, but this is the amazing 21st Century Dental team behind them.
Very
We are-
fun. And who decorated the practice? It looks good.
Say that again.
Who decorated the practice? Man,
They transformed the break
That's-
room.
will tomorrow you guys transition into Christmas, or what will happen?
Thanksgiving first.
Very cool. Tanya, can you tell us a little bit about the practice, where you are located, and then how long you've been working with them, the size, stuff like that?
Yeah, I would love to. So
Okay.
I've had the honor and privilege of working with 21st Century Dental here in Irving, Texas for about 13 years now. And one of the, I think, probably most unique things about this practice that I've experienced is the just continual quest for excellence. And that's actually one of the things we were working on today. They would be, well, we are in the backyard of the Texas Rangers, who just won their second game in the
Yes.
World Series. So we're just in. So we're only 4 days away from them being the World Series champions, right?
Nice.
And
Nice.
so we were talking about some of those similar characteristics of championship teams, and that getting to the top is one piece of it, and staying at the top is another. And that's what I think is so unique about this team, is as we've worked with them over the years, every single year they just get better and better, and it gets harder and harder to be there, right? So we spent the morning really working on what we call the common denominator of success, which is really focusing in on doing all the things that failures don't like to do. So we made some really great lists of just all the little things. In fact, Lisa, if I can shout her out, called it all the million little things.
Okay.
And so that's the game plan today, is working on the million little things that make 21st Century Dental the best.
Can we hear some of them?
You may. Who's got the list?
Lisa, do your list.
I mean, everything from, we do milkshakes and cookies but soft drinks, coffee, blankets, laughing gas, Vaseline on your lips if you want, a blanket if you're cold, just a million little things. There's things we were talking about today that we do and even did before the pandemic that we forgot about. So, and that was a lot about what we were talking about, is focusing on those things that we do well and being consistent in our delivery with them, with all patients, not selectively, moving forward.
Nice. Yeah, I've been listening to that classic Atomic Habits book, and it starts off that first chapter with all of the things that the British cycle team started to do, of marginal gains, that 1% difference that they make to change how that entire team started to work. It is real. A million little things is, I don't think it works any other way, right? It's not like you're, that's how it works. That's awesome. Tanya, what else? What else are you guys working on in the last year? Any challenges that this team has faced that they've worked on and you could share?
Yeah, I would love to. So, we're always measuring results. We're always looking at metrics. And last year, the team went through some changes as far as some of the business structure that affects things like tax ID numbers and MPI numbers. And that kind of threw a wrench into the whole process of billing insurance and accepting assignment of benefits and actually making sure that checks showed up here. And so that just has been a huge challenge because they see a lot of patients. They lost a long-term team member that unfortunately passed away, who was a big part of that process. And so this team's ability to come together and rise above and make things happen has been phenomenal. And so we're kind of at the tail end of that objective to get all of that cleaned up and straightened up and keep those systems chugging along the way they need to. So big shout out
Very
to
cool.
them for persevering through those challenges.
Nice. Hey, if you didn't know, you should. Everyone that's paying attention and listening, this team has donated over $160,000 to the Smiles for Life campaign, whitening campaign, since 2012. Ooh. Yeah, last year $15,975 to Smiles for Life whitening. I want this is a question for doctors or team members. Can you talk a little bit about one, how are you successful at Smiles for Life? And two, if you can answer either one, why do you do it? Why is this an important part of your practice?
I can address the important part. I mean,
Okay.
Part of who we are as a practice is being charitable. And I know years ago at one of the Crown Council annual events, it was a guy from Austin, I forget his name, but he was responsible for all these slogans. But he really drove in the point of, not just doing good things, but also letting your patient base know about it, because they want to follow or exchange business with people that are like-minded with them. So it's not that we didn't do things, but we didn't always feel good about telling people we did things. And so this brings in the patients, really they're doing it as well. So, and then the team is actually who does it, because our team are the ones that they sit down with the patients and deliver the experience. So.
Nice. Anybody else want to answer why you do it?
To make a difference.
You gotta talk louder.
To make a difference in someone else's life.
Very cool. And is there anything that specifically you're doing as a team? Just so you know, so did I cut somebody off?
I just told them this is the quietest they've been all.
Yeah, all good. That's all. Is there anything that you guys do that you could share with other Crown Council teams that are doing Smiles for Life? I mean, if you didn't know, you are the top 1% of offices that donate here. So what are you doing specifically that you could share with other practices to help make their whitening campaign just as successful?
We have a wall that has Smiles for Life in big bold letters that has all of our plaques and recognitions from Crown Council. And it says, we've donated over X amount in whitening since 2000, whatever the date is. So that sparks a conversation as patients are getting their, especially new patient tour. Like, what the heck is Smiles for Life? And look at all these plaques and everything going on, what's going on. And so that is a conversation starter.
Very cool.
But other than that, nothing super creative. I mean, we whiten tea, then we accept the money and give it to you guys. Just like you do it, and it goes to here.
As silly and funny as it sounds, it is the one piece of advice I give every office. I say, you have to ask your patients if they want to have whitening if you expect them to get it done. So that's, yeah, very good. Tanya, what else? Is there anything else that this team does for their culture that you could share that other teams could emulate or follow that you've seen that they do?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, like, it would be so amazing to really just take you on a tour of practice, because their culture isn't just something they talk about at the morning meeting or at a team meeting, but like I'm looking around the walls right now and you guys can't see it, but maybe I can pick the computer up. I mean, they have all of the culture guide framed and put on the wall over there. Right above, behind the TV that we're looking at, they have their purpose, which is to create happy paying patients who repeat and refer and pay more than it costs to serve. Dr. Bristow mentioned their Smiles for Life wall. And if you go down to the front of the office, they have a huge piece that has their whole vision statement on. And one of Lisa on the team was sharing when she interviewed here and she read that, she knew it was the place that she wanted to come work.
Nice.
What I think is really spectacular is they don't just, talk about it in a team meeting behind closed doors, but their culture is visible all up and down the hall. And in the way the team communicates and interacts, not only with the patient, but really with each other every single day.
I love that. Anybody else want to add to that?
Well, we breathe it, we live it, it is who we are, and we enjoy it. So when you definitely enjoy it, you're gonna bring a whole different kind of energy to it.
Great. Anybody else?
It matters to us. Each one of us has formed like a bond in some type of way to where the patients can see and feel the team, the family, the comfort, the love that we have for each other and for what we do. And that just kind of translates over. And as far as like the Smiles for Life, I think the key is it matters to us. And then when you give a patient an opportunity to help, I think people want to help more than they are allowed to, but never given the opportunity to. So we just give them the opportunity to help.
That's awesome. Is there anyone else? Tanya's looking back.
We're gonna be in so much
Eyeballs,
trouble.
They're acting all shy.
So back to the culture we were talking earlier about, patients commenting on team members seem to be having a good time, like it spills out in the hallway and around the corner. I mean, we don't have doors on the ops. And so, laughter down the hallway is kind of the, what we feel here. And, it's not something we're trying to do to fool somebody. We're actually, for the most part, having a good time.
With the occasional correction.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Crown Council looks to this practice in so many ways. You guys are leaders and examples to this group. And I think that that's a huge credit to the doctors. The example that you set, it starts from the top with how you treat your patients and each other. And it's just, I'm grateful for our relationship and thankful for what I've learned from this team over the years, especially just interacting at the annual event and watching how you serve your patients. So, Tanya, anything else before we wrap up?
Well, I think one thing, I do have doctors and teams asking all the time, like, how do they create an environment and a culture where people are looking forward to coming to the annual event? And I think one thing that they did this year that I thought was really cool, they determined, what was the number that the practice could take to the annual event in Austin in January. And then they created an opportunity for people, the team members, to write an essay or a letter for why they would like to attend the annual event. And so from that, Dr. Roy and a leadership team, chose the people that are going to get to attend this year. And I think I love that idea because you want to take people to the annual event that want to be there. So having a way to make it fun and exciting, and create that desire to be there and to grow and want to be poured into is huge. So that would be
Great
something
idea.
I would suggest would be a little pearl that Dr. Roy could share, with other practice owners.
Really smart. Great. Very good. Okay, get back to work. We've taken too much time, Tanya. You guys I bet you're busy here. I bet you got Halloween cupcakes to eat.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave the video on so you can see how loud they're gonna be.
Ooh, yeah. You know what
Okay.
We always do over-unders on how many times Tanya's gonna have to say, coming in.
Tanya, I do think we should organize one time. All I can think about is that, do you guys remember that Janet Jackson music video where the guy's walking around for like 5 minutes with the camera, just like point? That's what I envision you walking around this practice with that laptop, just stumbly. We should do it one week. We got to do it.
Gotta do it. Let's schedule it. I'll be back.
Cool. Let's do it. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Grateful to share with you. Thankful for this team. You guys are awesome. Okay. Bye, Tanya. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, welcome to the Crown Council live stream. Stuart Anderson here, and joining us for our Coach's Corner. That's what I'm calling it, Chris. Is that good? Coach's Corner?
I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So total patient service coach, Chris Taconis, out in the field doing her coaching. We're grateful to have Dr. Craig Barrows with us. Craig, we are grateful to have you on. Thanks for taking the time to be with us. And will you please introduce your lovely assistant here? I don't know her name. Sorry.
Better than us to do.
This is my right hand, Cheryl.
Right hand, Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, welcome to the live stream.
Yeah.
She's the office manager that makes it happen.
Oh, nice.
Makes Dr. Barrows look even better than he already is.
Very good, Cheryl. So the point of this is just so everybody knows who's watching. There are Crown Council and total patient service coaches out working every day. They're out in different practices. They're out coaching and working. And I thought it would be fun to highlight who they are with, what they are coaching, and just some of the things that are happening now in relation to coaching teams and what doctors and team members and Chris specifically is seeing that you guys are working on. And I thought that would be fun to share with everybody. So with that, what are you guys working on?
Well, you might hear a lot of noise in the background. That's the team getting along and having fun because we're here together. Dr. Barrows has invested 2 days to get the team re-immersed. And we worked on the culture yesterday. We worked on really looking at how they can improve themselves, as well as areas of the practices that are strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, and even threats with setting goals. And today we're going to embark on digging deeper into DISC and how to apply it with patients, because that's what you asked for.
Yes.
That's very good.
It's all about
so Dr. Barrows is in Arizona, Yuma, Arizona. And just a little bit of background here. I mean, you guys, I'm looking at some Crown Council dashboard numbers, raised almost $50,000 for Smiles for Life. Woohoo! We've had you at the annual event for starting at the Crown Council annual event, the 19th annual event. You guys are a huge part of everything that we do. Maybe, Dr. Barrows, you could share just a little bit about your practice, what you guys are like, and just so everybody kind of gets an idea of who you are.
My practice is a general practice. Yuma, Arizona is a town of about 100,000 population. We double in size in the wintertime from the folks from up north coming down. So we have a little bit of uniqueness there. But we're a general dental practice. I do bread and butter dentistry. Nothing special, nothing fancy. I just do great dentistry. I try to do great dentistry. I have the best team ever, thanks to Chris.
You're a doer.
So yeah, I don't do anything unique. We just do it. We do a few things really well, and we focus on what we want to do. We're not all over the place. We focus on doing good general dentistry and do it really well.
Very cool. Cheryl, was that an accurate description of what's happening?
Tell the
He's
truth.
an amazing
Cheryl.
dentist. He does a lot more than just bread and butter dentistry. But he does invest a lot into his team and making sure we're the best that we can be to provide,
Nice.
for our patients.
Very cool.
And can I brag a little bit?
Yeah, brag. Yes.
So we've TOPS, our whole organization, we have worked with this guy for many, many years, not because he hasn't gotten it. It's because he's really worked hard on his top skills, his systems, his culture, and his practice. Cheryl being his right hand woman in the practice and making sure that all of those goals and the vision that he has is followed through with. And he has built just an amazing practice here where he's been able to expand. He's been able to serve patients in his community with dentures needed in this community because they've been going over the border for that. And instead, Dr. Barrows has been able to treat patients so that they get the right treatment. And I just love the fact that his biggest goal is to always invest in the team to make sure that we not only work in the business, but that he works on the business by having
Nice.
everybody get together and work through just a lot of different skills and verbal skills. But ultimately, he won't brag about it, but he's really expanded his practice, and it's fun to come here and see how much they've grown.
Very good.
Stuart, if I could say something that.
Yeah,
I might be talking to other dentists. Is that correct?
you are. Yeah, the membership of the Crown Council. Yeah.
Got to know your audience, right? But the one thing I can tell you is, if we use it's football season sports analogy, is that when a team wins the Super Bowl, the last thing they do is fire the coach or fire the quarterback.
Mm.
The whole fan base says, "Dear God, please let's re-sign the coach and re-sign the quarterback and do this again next year." And at one point in my life, I had some, we'll call them some coaches, consultants, if you will, and we kind of got together for a year and we had success. And then I didn't rehire the coach. Dead stop. That's the phrase I hear now. So when
Dramatic pause.
Yeah. Yeah. You notice. Okay. And so then when I met Chris and Steve and the Tops team, and I went, okay, this is different. This is different than I've been successful in the past, and then I made a change and didn't like the result. This is different. So I decided when I was successful, let's just say after my first year, I wanted to do it again. And what the result was, I rehired the coach, if you will, if you consider me the quarterback. Actually, I don't know that I'm the quarterback. The quarterback is Stinky. He calls the plays. I'm the running back. I just carry the ball. So my point is I have my coach, and they're not going anywhere because I'm not successful without my coach. Why would I want to win the Super Bowl and break up the team? Now in football, we know that's what happens because all the players go get more money to go play for another team. But my analogy is, I've got the best coach. I've got the best quarterback. I just take the football and run with it. And every year I thought I would repeat year one with year two, but year two got bigger and better. And then year three got bigger and better. And I'm blown away after 4 or 5 years that I've been with Chris. Whenever I have a concern, the little voice in my head is, what would Chris do? What would Chris do? And then Cheryl goes, can I call her? You know her? And so now so now they communicate, and Chris tells me,
nice.
Cheryl tells me what Chris said. And so it's just amazing. It's not about dentistry. It's about relationships with patients. And when you win the Super Bowl, you don't get rid of the coach. You lock them into a contract, or you lock them into the future, because that's what the season ticket holders, they want to come back next year and win. And if you break up the team, or it's a temporary team, you have temporary customers.
Sounds like we need some bracelets made, Chris, some WWCD. What would Chris do bracelets?
I don't know how popular those would be, but
I'll order a box of them.
That's so good. Hey, maybe one last question before I let you guys go. I know you're working on things, but what has been the biggest challenge in the last year for your team? What have you guys really worked on?
Our culture. I think our culture is the biggest thing at the practice, and implementing all the different, personalities and everything else. You've got to meet them where they're at, and then just grow who they are. And eventually we just get the team that we have, which is amazing. Thanks to Chris.
Nice.
Retaining team members long-term.
Yeah.
There's a positive and a negative to everything. And when you grow, we always have some turnover in the practice as everybody's life changes and they move to different scenarios. But you also might need to add some team members. And so adding new team members, the culture then is just as important when you're replacing a team member as when you're adding a brand new one. And when you get that core culture, your team members love the culture. And when you bring in a new team member, the challenge is making sure that you get them instill the culture into them, and so that everything just continues to grow. And once that happens, it's exponential, the growth. You're just looking for another team member.
Nice.
To fit
As
the
you
culture.
would always say, getting the right members on the bus, the right team members on the bus.
Yeah.
So.
Very good.
True.
Hey, well, you guys are all stars. Grateful to follow your lead. I know there's a lot of Crown Council docs that look to you and your practice, and just thankful for you for being on here and sharing a few things that make you successful. So thanks, guys.
We're happy to do it.
Hey, guys, we'll see you soon. Salt Lake City's coming.
Yes.
We'll be there.
All right, we'll see you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye. All right, welcome to Crown Council live stream. This is a recorded segment. I'm Stuart Anderson. Howdy, guys.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Darcy Wilson, Blake Cameron, grateful to have you guys. They're downtown in Salt Lake City, so we're in the same city in different rooms, but they are participating in TOPS's Total Immersion program this morning. How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
You've been before, Blake?
Yeah, this is our second time. It's been a few years.
Okay.
Dr.
Maybe
has the entire team here today.
Oh, nice. Have you taken your whole team before, Blake?
I did. It was a smaller team, about 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Very good. Maybe explain to everybody, what is total immersion? Why would you go? Why would you take your team? Why would you take your team back?
So, I mean, what I consider total immersion is a great kind of heavy 2-day dose of culture of how to treat each other, how to treat people, how to be speaking the right language as we interact with each other and our patients. Bringing them back, like any other system we implement over time, certain things start to loosen up, get a little wiggly, time for a refresh. And I mean, it has been about 5 years for us. So we've got, I think, 4 of our team members that were here last time, and the rest have been new with us since the last 5 years.
Very good. Darcy, you're coach for TOPS.
I am, and I'm Dr. Cameron's coach.
Yep.
Oh, nice. When somebody says, should we go to Total Immersion? Why would I go? What's up? What do you tell them?
Well, it's interesting because for people who have been here before, I tell them that it aligns back into culture and team members. And then for the newer ones, it's all brand new, right? It's the understanding what the emotion is behind the services. And just like Steve Anderson says, there's really nothing in dentistry our patients want. It's the emotions they see once they walk out the door. And to teach team members that is the biggest hurdle, I believe, today.
And it gives you a chance to step back. Any doctors that try to create this experience on our own in our office, we're going to fail. Simply by virtue of where you are. There's some magic to stepping out of the office, getting your team to a new place, hearing it from someone who's not you and who does a better job at it than you do because they do it all the time. You just can't replace it.
I love that. Maybe one thing you've learned, Blake, at Total Immersion.
So just this morning, reviewing, that we make our decisions emotionally and then we justify them with logic, and going through examples and watching the lights click on in my team members' eyes as we talk through those, so they can all see themselves in an experience like that.
Yeah.
I think it's powerful.
You're saying that patients don't want a root canal, Darcy? Is that what you're saying?
They don't. And when you hear them or guilt them into doing their treatment, there's a reason why they don't commit to it or say yes to it.
Yeah.
It's emotion, what they feel.
Blake, is there power in gathering together with other practices? I just kind of want to get your opinion on that.
I think for sure. I mean, there are plenty of, I think, Crown Council doctors that may be solo practitioners. I've got 2 doctors with me, but there's something powerful with surrounding yourself with others who have a similar desire and fill a similar role. So for me as a doctor, going and rubbing shoulders with the doctors, there's a handful that I see at the annual event each year that I love seeing. We interact occasionally outside of the annual event, but most of it's there. And then also for my team members to rub shoulders with other dental assistants or dental hygienists that are not just outside their office, but also outside their area, right? Like for us in Cache Valley, Small Valley in Utah,
right?
You tend to hear what everyone around you thinks. And it's nice to break out of that and have like-minded, positive, focused people.
I like that. Very cool. Darcy, what are you working on? What's the biggest challenge right now as a TOPS coach? Whether it's in Blake's office or other offices, what are you seeing right now that you're really working on?
Really, it's entropy, to be very honest. Systems that should be in alignment that kind of just fizzle and fall apart, and it's bringing it back into alignment. No one really knows why entropy happens, but it does. And then the second one, I believe across the United States, is being an unrestricted provider. So even Dr. Cameron is going through those questions. Should I or should I not be contracted with certain plans? And you've had a very successful transition this year.
Yeah, we have.
Nice. Do you want to share just a minute about that?
So we've had a wonderful problem of growth and having more than we can handle in spite of building a new building and bringing on another doctor. So it's been the right time for us to start looking at keeping the patients who want to see us because they want to see us, not because we are cheaper. So we've been exiting many networks. I think 3 years ago, we were in probably 30 different networks, and now we're in about 5 and about to trim off a couple more. So for us, the answer for now is going to be to stay in a small number of them that we've been able to negotiate with, but it's impacted huge our ability to create experiences with our team because we're not worried as all of the other financial pressures that happen. We're in control, which has been so nice.
Yeah, tough transition. Kudos. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, they're missing the meeting. They took a break, so I'll let you guys get back. But thanks for joining. Any final thoughts?
No, glad to
Nope.
be here. Thanks for inviting us
No.
on what is it, the Tops Corner for
Top
Thursday.
Coaches Corner. Yeah, we're grateful to connect with not all of them, but most of the Tops coaches are in Salt Lake at Total Immersion. So next week we'll connect. I believe we're going to Alaska next week to connect with the team there. So grateful. Thanks for both.
I've got one last thought for you, Stu.
Yeah.
Any doctors that are listening who don't have a coach of some kind, it doesn't have to be Tops. I'm obviously biased towards them, but if you don't have a coach, there's a whole lot you're missing, and it's worth whatever time or money you need to spend to get it, because you don't know as you don't know.
I love that. Thank you.
Thanks, Stu.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Have fun. See ya. All right. Welcome. All right. This is a recorded segment for our live stream. Although we're only 30 minutes before the live stream, so it's technically, we're as close to live as you could possibly get. So joining us from Alaska, where they say it's still dark. What time is it in Alaska?
Yeah.
8:30.
It's
8:30.
It looks like 8:30 at night, though. Yeah,
Very good. Chris, will you please introduce who you're with?
absolutely. We have our awesome doctors from Alaska Premier Dental Group, our owner doctors. This is Dr. Brian Wojtowski. I can't look at the computer while I'm doing this, as well as Dr. Clark Basham. And we have been working together with these awesome guys for about 13 years now.
Yeah.
And their team, and even trekking through snow, sleet, and everything else. We get together a few times a year to really focus on how we can uplift the team, really get their top skills in alignment and support them so that they have success with their patients every day.
Nice. Very good. And then, hi, Pam. How are you?
Hey, Stu, I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
Very good. I'm glad you're here.
Pam.
Sorry, Pam. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it would be really fun to hear from the two doctors. What have been the two biggest challenges that you guys have seen in the last year, and how have you worked on them?
We know that doctors go through a lot of challenges off and on, all the time. That's why Pam and I have a job. And could you share some successes that have happened over the last couple of months when we've honed in on what to do with the team and their skills and things that we've been working on consistently?
I mean, both of them, I like that you changed that because both of them, they reek optimism.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Go ahead. Something that I think about that the word that you guys talked about, entropy, the natural entropy. And over the last couple of years, that entropy has just been accelerated by a number of factors outside of all of our control.
Sure.
Right. And so I think having amazing coaches like Pam and Chris working with us to try and manage that entropy and the accelerated entropy has been just necessary. Everything from the mental fortitude to the hard practice skills to the you know, systems, implementing systems and making sure existing systems are being followed and honored. That's been invaluable over the last few years.
Yep, definitely. You know, and a part of that too is we had a change in leadership, and with that change in leadership, we changed the structure of our leadership. And so that has been key, you know, with you helping us implement that and bringing it all together. And it's been a great move for us.
Nice. I can't wait to name this segment, They Reek Optimism.
You're making that a t-shirt.
T-shirt. Clark. That's good. Hey, maybe Chris and Pam and doctors too. What is it? Maybe 2 or 3 secrets or keys that you guys do to have such a strong team culture. How do you make sure that your team is strong? We handed the Team of the Year award to this team for the humanitarian work that they did last year. So they received the Humanitarian Team of the Year at the annual event. I know that's a big part of what you do, doing good. But what else? What else are you guys committed to make sure your team and culture is strong?
Can I share one thing, Chris? And then I'll head to you. So Stu, for me, where we first start is it starts with the top, the leadership, partnering with doctors that care about their team, make the investment in them so that they can perform at their best, so that they don't just throw them in and say, okay, figure it out. It's easy to partner and foster the type of culture that they want so that it feels good for them, so that when they're serving patients together, it's a no-brainer that they'll walk home feeling fulfilled. So that's, for me, it starts from the top, really partnering with doctors that care about their team members. So kudos to you both.
Thanks, Pam. And that's what I was going to say too, is that we hold true to our culture and to each other in the same culture, and that helps us along the way and keeps our team strong in the culture also.
Nice. Very cool.
You said it better.
Chris, what will you guys work on today? What is it that you've got on your calendar, on your agenda?
Well, because we did Uber Focus on Tuesday as a whole organization, the team mapped out some wildly important goals, and Pam and I separate and conquer, where we take what they committed to and we will work side by side, one-on-one with team members so that they can feel success in how they're completing the goals that they set. We'll be working on things like how to link better with patients, how to make sure that every patient goes home with a clear picture of what they want and how we're going to help them get what they said they wanted, with their financial arrangements, everything in alignment. Because the team really wants to feel like every patient they touch and connect with gets what they want, which is everything and beyond their smile.
Very cool.
So,
nice.
That you could add to?
Nope, couldn't have said it better myself.
Very cool.
That's our biggest focus today.
Nice.
And
Hey,
in the plan where it's going to hold all the team accountable for what we're trying to accomplish. So it's great.
And then how often are you guys meeting? How often do you do this? As Pam and Chris mentioned, maybe a couple times a year. Is that necessary for the entropy?
At a minimum.
Yeah.
Should be every other week.
We joke that, we should have shirts that say we kick entropy's tail.
Yes.
Get in there, and that's the goal. So it doesn't keep showing its ugly head. We got to get in there and stir things up and help that entropy get out of the way.
And you check in with us and our leadership once a month. So
he's getting major points right now.
He is. Cadence of accountability. Yeah, it doesn't. There has to be a cadence in place, and so thank you for saying that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, and these doctors have done a really great thing where we've been able to partner together with them, and they've put leaders on their team that they've helped develop, and the leads have just really been soaking it in and being better leaders. And so they're in a position to lead their team. And that's what's helped us partner together and really map out how we can get a cadence of accountability and rely on the team to also be self-led with.
Nice.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Last but not least, you hear a word that's been hurled around is leaders. That's what they refer to their team as. There's no management here. We manage things and we lead people. And so both of these wonderful doctors sitting next to me are big components of fostering leadership and not management.
Yeah. Hey, well, there are leaders in the Crown Council membership. They've been a focus of our awards program, our Mentor of the Month program. I mean, everybody looks to this awesome team to set the standard when it comes to giving, to leadership, humanitarian work. So we're so grateful for you guys and thankful for all that you offer to the membership. Thank you.
Thank you too, Stu.
We wish we could be in front of the window where you could see all the snow, but again.
We'll imagine it. Hey, it's dumping here in Salt Lake. We're gonna
That's right.
Cool. Hey, thanks so much, you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks everybody. I know we're a little over. If you're still with us, grateful that you would share just a little bit of those memories and recognize how awesome these Crown Council teams are. We're looking forward to next week. We're doing our coding webinar. That'll take place during this hour. Steve will be doing that. Registration is out for our coding webinar for 2024, and we're looking forward to being together with everybody. So thanks today. That's it for Crown Council Live, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.